What's happening, people? We back again, and we got some things to talk about. So what is going on in the workforce out there? Why is everyone quitting their jobs right now? What's going on? People getting the hell out of Dodge. These are important jobs. It don't even matter anymore. People are just getting the hell out of there. What is happening in the workforce? The cons always outweigh the pros. What's happening in the workforce? They're calling it the Great Resignation. That's what it's called right now. Everybody's quitting, and we're at a point where they're calling it the Great Resignation. That's how many people are getting the hell out of there. That's how many people are getting the hell out of Dodge. They're calling it the Great Resignation. And it's due to the inflation. Say it with me one more time. Inflation. Resignation. So check it out. Now, let's compare some things. Let's look at the year 1913 and compare it with the year today. In the year 1913, if you had $1,000, you had roughly around $16,000 worth of buying power. If you have $1,000 today, you haven't even made enough to pay rent for the month. That is due to inflation, my friends. That is due to inflation. You smell that? Inflation. Now, wages were not meant to keep up with inflation, yet they still put this system in place. What? You telling me that they knew? Yes, they knew this. They knew the wages would not be able to keep up with inflation, yet they still put it in place. Wow. That sums up a lot. Now, let's compare the cost of living to the average pay of an individual in today's age. For an individual in today's age, the cost of living per year, you're looking at, on an average, about $34,000 to $35,000 a year. That's considering rent, utilities, medical and dental, food, clothing, and transportation. That's about $34,000 to $35,000 a year. We haven't even added a cell phone, internet, streaming services. Let's see, friends and family events and social gatherings. Let's see, dating. You want to date? You better think about that. If you want to date, you better think about it. You want to have kids? You better think about it. Because just for you alone, that's how much it costs per year for that one individual. Now, the average pay is around $35,000 to $35,000, maybe $40,000 a year after taxes. After taxes. Where are you going? Now, at some point, even the well-paying jobs are going to drown. Meaning, a well-paying job today, 20 years later, maybe more, maybe less, will eventually end up becoming a minimum wage job compared to what it was at one point in time due to inflation. Yeah, it's going to catch up with everyone. This is what I'm saying. Inflation is going to catch up with us all, even the guys at the top. If your company or industry is not able to keep up with the inflation, okay, which means consumers are going to have to pay more in order for them to pay more. Now, when they introduced this minimum wage act or wage act period, whatever happened to profit sharing? Right? It should always have just been profit sharing, because that would be a way to keep up with inflation. Because in order for a company to keep up with inflation, they're going to have to raise the prices in order to pay their employees more. Right? They're going to have to raise those prices in the times we're in now. Now, if you were someone who, you're a part of that company and, you're into profit sharing, then as the prices go up for the product, your share goes up too. So we have inflation, product inflation, pay inflation. That would be an awesome way to keep up with the inflation, but that's not what they did. They put the wage act out there, knowing that this wage act cannot keep up with the inflation. Dun, dun, dun. No, but yeah, that's where we at with it. What are we gonna do, people? What are we gonna do? So, to make it simple, I'll put it like this. Let's say you work for McDonald's, and instead of getting $10 or $12 an hour, or even 14 for the matter, you got a piece of every burger and fry, ice cream, soda, whatever you sold for the day. So if that burger cost $3, you made 50 cents or 75 cents. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. For every burger you sold, for every fry you sold, you made something every day. Because if it wasn't for you, those burgers would still be on the shelf. They'd still be on the shelf. Otherwise, why don't you sell your own goods? This is your McDonald's. I get it. This is your idea. You came up with this. That's fine. But if you don't want to pay me adequately, then sell it yourself and continue to sell it yourself for the rest of your life. Have your family help you get these burgers off, because I'm not. I'm not trying to be funny either. But yeah, have your family get these burgers off, because I'm not. That would have been a smart business plan. That would have been smart business. For every burger I sell, I want a piece of it. Every fry I sell, I want a piece of it. Otherwise, sell your own goods for the rest of your life. Give it to your son, and he can give it to his son, and y'all can sell burgers for the rest of y'all life. Otherwise, if you want my help, this is what I need. That would have been smart business. But that's not the situation we're in. And now look at this situation. We let it get too far. We let it get too far. From being, you've been rocked to sleep. And on top of that, to add insult to injury, they're about to get ready and replace people with machines. Yeah, you're being replaced with machines. All the hard work that your father or your mother or your brother, whoever contributed to a company's success, for even being here today, they're about to replace human beings with machines to add insult to injury. Now we done with you. We don't need you anymore. And people are still going to indulge with these companies. When McDonald's gets rid of all his employees and they're just shooting things out through a machine, people are still going to pull up at McDonald's instead of saying, no, I won't spend my money with McDonald's anymore until they get rid of all the machines that are not necessary. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that because of that reason there, and people will stand together. But that's the next step that these companies are going for, because people are waking up and people are going to want more money. And rather than pay you that money, they would rather put machines in place so that they don't have to. They are so confident that you are going to buy those burgers no matter what. That's what it is. Now, what do you do when laws are being passed and deals and bargains are being struck and you need to survive? It's hard to bargain when you're starving. And people know this, obviously. So you're going to accept something that contributes to your survival, to your family's survival. And it might not be much, but you'll survive. Rewind back to the past when this wage act was introduced. People were happy. People were thriving. They could not understand the future, but some did see what was coming. And I call it a bait and switch. The government did a bait and switch. We'll give you these wages now. And people are happy, buying ice cream, buying houses. Everything's good. But the inflation has really ruined things. And now companies and the government they're the winners. They're the winners. Now, people did not understand that they were scraps at the time because, like I said, we just went through how $1,000 back in 1913, 1914, that was about $16,000 worth of buying power, right? Not anymore. So it was kind of a bait and switch, right? It was kind of like a bait and switch. We're going to give them this. They think they winning now, but we're going to win down the line. So now that inflation is totally ruining things. People are understanding the mistake. But like I said, it's hard to bargain when you're starving. And if our parents and grandparents and their parents and grandparents didn't accept these deals, we wouldn't be here today. Most of us wouldn't be here today. So we can't knock our past generations for accepting a way of survival. But what do we do now is the question, because this is cold red, in my opinion. We voted, we've marched, we've rioted, we've walked out, we've done everything. We've tried everything but higher pay. I mean, a lot higher pay. We've tried everything under the sun but higher pay. Now, I'm not knocking any hustle, but we can't let the government hustle us. The government is hustling us. They've been hustling us for a long time. And now that the curtains are about to be pulled back, and we're about to see this little man back there, they telling all type of lies. They putting everything out there. These are the times we're in. The Wizard of Oz. They send you on a mission. If you do this, you can go home or live peacefully. But you do it, and then they tell you, I don't have the power to give you what you want. You got to do it yourself. because it's just a little man behind the curtain. The great, powerful Oz is just a little man. These are the times we're in. And speaking as a black man, looking at the fact that my people were held back for so many years from learning and from earning and from a way of some sort of freedom. Imagine the situation that we're in as a people, because we haven't even discussed that. We haven't even discussed that. This is a messed up situation. And that's all I got for y'all right now. But I will be back with some more things to talk about. In the meantime, between time, y'all be smooth. I'm out.